Chapter 2. Perfect modesty will abstain from whatever tends to sin, as well as from sin itself. Difference between trust and presumption. If secure ourselves, we must not put temptation in the way of others. We must love our neighbor as ourself. You must know that in the eye of perfect, that is, Christian, modesty, carnal desire of oneself on the part of others is not only not to be desired, but even execrated, by you. First, because the study of making personal grace, which we know to be naturally the inviter of lust and mean of pleasing, does not spring from a sound conscience. Why therefore excite toward yourself that evil passion? Why invite that to which you profess yourself a stranger? Secondly, because we ought not to open a way to temptations, which, by their instancy, sometimes achieve a wickedness which God expels from them who are His, or, at all events, put the spirit into a thorough tumult by presenting a stumbling block to it. We ought indeed to walk so holily, and with so entire substantiality of faith, as to be confident and secure in regard of our own conscience, desiring that that gift may abide in us to the end, yet not presuming that it will. For he who presumes feels less apprehension. He who feels less apprehension takes less precaution. He who takes less precaution runs more risk. Fear is the foundation of salvation. Presumption is an impediment to fear. More useful, then, is it to apprehend that we may possibly fail, than to presume that we cannot, for apprehending will lead us to fear, fearing to caution, and caution to salvation. On the other hand, if we presume, there will be neither fear nor caution to save us. He who acts securely, and not at the same time warily, possesses no safe and firm security, whereas he who is wary will be truly able to be secure. For his own servants, may the Lord by His mercy take care that to them it may be lawful even to presume on His goodness. But why are we a source of danger to our neighbor? Why do we import concupiscence into our neighbor? Which concupiscence, if God, in amplifying the law, do not dissociate in the way of penalty from the actual commission of fornication, I know not whether He allows impunity to him who has been the cause of perdition to some other. For that other, as soon as he has felt concupiscence after your beauty, and has mentally already committed the deed which his concupiscence pointed to, perishes, and you have been made the sword which destroys him, so that, albeit you be free from the actual crime, you are not free from the odium attaching to it. As, when a robbery has been committed on some man's estate, the actual crime indeed will not be laid to the owner's charge, while yet the domain is branded with ignominy, and the owner himself aspersed with the infamy. Are we to paint ourselves out that our neighbors may perish? Where, then, is the command, "You shall love your neighbor as yourself"? Care not merely about your own things, but about your neighbors. No enunciation of the Holy Spirit ought to be confined to the subject immediately in hand merely, and not applied and carried out with a view to every occasion to which its application is useful. Since, therefore, both our own interest and that of others is implicated in the studious pursuit of most perilous outward comeliness, it is time for you to know that not merely must the pageantry of fictitious and elaborate beauty be rejected by you, but that of even natural grace must be obliterated by concealment and negligence, as equally dangerous to the glances of the beholder's eyes. For, albeit comeliness is not to be censured, as being a bodily happiness, as being an additional outlay of the divine plastic art, as being a kind of goodly garment of the soul, yet it is to be feared, just on account of the injuriousness and violence of suitors, which injuriousness and violence even the father of the faith, Abraham, greatly feared in regard of his own wife's grace, and Isaac, by falsely representing Rebekah as his sister, purchased safety by insult.
If you enjoyed this talk, consider subscribing to this channel and click on the notification bell, then you will know when new content is added to this playlist. Thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.